Yeah, actually, it's there are two reasons. Actually, one is the humanitarian reasons, and other thing is the medical reason. Medical reasons is that when you undergo an amputation, the patient will have to use more extra cardiac reserve, about 10% more to walk with a pair of crutches. And other thing is that the patients will then most of the people are depressed due to this amputation. So then the other medical reason is they have to put more energy to use that limb. So those are the medical reasons that we have to
give that extra energy. Probably other organs may not be function properly.
Kidneys, because of the complications.
So other complications may attribute to the mortality. That means the early deaths. So as we mentioned initially, if a person undergo amputation, there's a high chance within next 5 years he might lose the other limb. Because he is now putting the entire burden onto the normal foot. But still they don't know the gravity of it. They don't know the status of it. And they don't know why this has happened unless they are educated properly. So in Sri Lanka, that's why we call it our place diabetic foot care rehabilitation. So any person even lose his toe, even particularly the great toe, has to be rehabilitated, has to be teach properly how to use that.
Of course.
The next other limb properly. Otherwise they might end up with another disaster.
Alright, doctor, so we'll actually come back and get into more detail about that. But do visit our Facebook page on www.facebook.com/Good Morning Sri Lanka, and we'll go into a quick break and we'll be right back. But also, if you have any questions about diabetes, you can check us out. Actually send us an email on mtvsports@maharaja.lk. After we come back from the break, I asked the doctors what I've been asking every single doctor that's been here on Good Morning Sri Lanka. The psychological mind, could that have a play in diabetes? We'll be right back after this commercial break.
Alright, so we're back after the break. Now, just before we went into the break, we were speaking about rehabilitation, and this came up while we were discussing. So let's go in depth into that topic. When someone does develop this diabetic foot disease, how can they then change their lifestyle to adapt to this and to go on living their normal daily day-to-day lives?
Well, initial thing is that first of all they must get their sugar level under control. That's the most important thing. As I told you, most people do develop diabetes complication due to although they take medicine, their sugar levels are not under control. So initial first rehabilitation is that they must be taught how to take care of their sugar levels.
If I could just interrupt you there, doctor, is it now insulin and pills? What's the most effective way of dealing with the sugar levels, or is it a combination of both, or something else entirely?
No, so not all people need insulin. Right? That the doctor will decide on it. When you take given a pill, there are a combination of pills. Once you reach the highest level and still you are unable to get it under control, then you go for insulin. Insulin, for that matter, a lot of people are kind of frightened to get insulin because there's an injection. But nowadays there are special devices, insulin pumps, insulin pens, and very tiny needles. You don't even feel it.
I see.
So that is the reason. That's why I told you the rehabilitation means you must teach the patient the available resources to get into their normal day-to-day life. That's the first part of rehabilitation. Then the modification of their eating habits or way of life. If they're leading a sedentary life, you must encourage them to sort of get into more active life. Mode of exercise. As I told you, now suppose you have a foot injury, right? Foot deformity. Then you are not encouraging the patient to walk. There are other ways of doing exercise like bike, cycling, or maybe rowing, and maybe that sort of exercise.
So pretty much
that's right. So that's another area where rehabilitation come into play. If the patient can walk, there again the space that he walks, that also matters, and the type of footwear that he's going to use. So that is also a part of rehabilitation. You must teach the patient what to choose, how to use, and when you're walking, what is the pace that he should walk, the distance, and everything. Particularly person with a claudication, that means they are unable to get enough blood to the leg. You need to be encourage the patient to do more walking. But there again, when you do give that instruction, you must be pretty sure that he has no foot deformities, and must given the proper footwear, because the trivial injury to the ischemic leg might end up with a shoe amputation. So that is another area. Then of course the food, what type of food that they should take, how to sort of enjoy their life. So those are the areas, that other thing that you must get the patient to know what is glycemic index mean.
Right.
That means the way of food, the type of food, the preparation of food, everything has to be taught.
Right.
Then come the most important area of rehabilitation is the footwear.
Right.
I think probably Dr. Jayama should deal that area.
Actually,
as you can see, we've actually placed a couple of
if you can show
specific,
this is normal footwear. A person with diabetes without any foot deformity actually should have can wear a normal footwear.
Yeah.
He should have a very comfortable pair of shoes where you have proper, we call the toe box. Toe box areas should be very wide. Shows the toes cannot be crammed together, and they can't wear the fashionable shoes,
right?
Like the ones.
So that luxury is gone out the window.
Yeah. And that is a basic thing. And the longest toe and the covering of the shoe, there should be at least half inch of space should be there for you to move the toes.
Right.
And also the rear part, there should be a padded area where then they don't get injuries. And of course a normal shoe, whatever the shoe that he is going to wear without any foot problem, and have normal heel like this. This is of course meant for a patient with a heel wound.
Right.
So
it's pretty much inverse to a regular shoe.
Posterior ortho wedge.
We call posterior ortho wedge, right? And we have these Velcro straps where the patient can
adjust the mechanism how it affects.
When the patient walks on this, his body weight goes onto the frontal area.
I see.
He doesn't bear weight on the heel.
Right.
So the wound will heal very fast. This is called offloading of the wound.
Right.
So that is actually one of the principles of wound healing of diabetes. Unless you offload the wound, it will not heal. So
no amount of antibiotics is a mechanical problem altogether. So no amount of dressings or no amount of antibiotics will heal ulcer unless you offload it. That is where there are various techniques of offloading. That's also come into play. Very handy because maybe using crutches, maybe using a wheelchair, maybe using this sort of a footwear. It's offloading, and there's another called anterior ortho.
This is called anterior ortho.
Okay.
So this is for a wound on the forefoot.
Right.
Then the other features are the same. This is also kind of offloading. Right. So this is anterior ortho.
So let me ask you this, doctors. How long would a person have to wear these for?
Well, this kind of modified footwear you must use during a certain period of time, maybe until your wound is healed. So once it is healed, you can get it modified again. The footwear, you can paste something underneath and get this gap filled. Therefore, you can use it as a normal footwear. And the duration depends on the requirement of the patient. And this is the type of what we call rocker bottom footwear. It has also a certain area that you must use.
Actually, this is specially made for patients with claw toe and hammer toe. That is due to the severe neuropathy. You can get deformities of the toes. Then the patient will walk on that deformity. They will be just hitting their toes on the floor. Keep on hitting their toes on the floor. Then they can get themselves injured. So to prevent this, this is called a rocker bottom shoe, which can, there's a the front part is slanted upwards, and then it's the features are the same. It's very padded.
This Velcro system is that most of the diabetic foot towards the evening they get swollen. So when you go to your office or workplace with a normal foot in the morning, by the time you come home it is swollen. If you wear normal footwear, you definitely will get a shoe bite, and therefore this sort of footwear will prevent that happening.
Cool.
But these designs are specially made for the comfort
and not only that. Even the insole is made of what you call microcellulose rubber. As a particular, now as you know, if you get a roughened area with an insensitive foot, if you use that, due to the continuous friction, you might develop a callosity. This kind of material will prevent that happening because it's a softer material. Everywhere, it's very easy to and very lightweight also. That's the beauty of the footwear.
Right. And they come in different designs.
Yeah, very much, very vast. Almost, as Jason told us, there are certain instances where diabetic people can get fancy shoe also, made of this kind of material.
Right. Of course.
Although those are a bit expensive, but they are available.
Right.
So
this is a temple
shoe.
Because you mentioned earlier that the thermal burns can occur due to walking on sand in temples.
That's right.
Things like
so to prevent that, patient can wear one of these. Even at home, they can wear this very comfortably. So this will prevent the minor injuries.
Right.
So that the foot will be protected.
Right.
So it's a very simple kind of shoe.
But once they go into the temple, or can they wear this shoe in different times in their lives? Because once you go to a temple, you have to remove your shoes.
Well, now that is a area that we must address
exactly.
people and encourage people to sort of use some sort of, at least even a pair of socks.
I see.
Because that awareness is the most important thing. Being aware that this something might happen.
Yeah.
So that will make patients more careful.